First of all, good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm not sure how I got chosen to do this, but I've been privileged to have been voted in the Hall of Fame a number of years ago with one of my great teammates and competitors, Oscar Robertson. And I've always felt one thing about sports, and particularly team sports, it's not about the person. And I think the thing that makes this so gratifying to me is to be able to share this with all the people from 1960 winning a gold medal when we were truly amateurs. The greatest thrill in my life was to win a gold medal, not to win an NBA championship. And forever, I will be grateful for these men, our coaches who passed away recently, Pete Newell and others, and also one of our teammates. And time separates all of us, but it certainly doesn't separate memories. And for you guys, I loved you when we played. It was truly a team. For a kid from a town of 500 people to receive $1 a day per diem, by the way. You guys did a little bit better than that. And we lived in dorms together. Wasn't air conditioned, by the way. And if people thought they were having a heat wave back east this year, they should have been in Rome in 1960. But I will tell you, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about those days. The single proudest moment in my life was to go up and receive a gold medal for the United States in 1960. There's a wonderful book called The 1960 Olympics, The Olympics That Changed the World. I would recommend all of you to read it. David Marmonis wrote it. And it really wasn't about the Olympic game per se. It was about everything that was going on in this country: race, communism, the threat of nuclear war. And I can tell you that probably the greatest friends and the people I've had most respect for are the players who I have played with in the past, but more importantly, the ones who have paved the way even for us. People always ask me, are you jealous of what players make today? No, I say I'm really proud. I'm happy for them. And we see some of the most incredible representatives here today. And this, I don't know what your dream team, I would call it, if I was an opponent, I would call it a nightmare team. And see the incredible talent that they had. But I will tell you, I played on, I think, the greatest amateur team that ever played. And I'm so thankful that I can still say that these men are my friends. For a young kid from West Virginia, it was a thrill of a lifetime, and it still is today. And thank you for having me, and more importantly, thanks for remembering us from years gone by. Thank you.
My pleasure to have one of the great players in the 1960s, and he's one of the major contributors for the 1960 Olympic basketball team, one of probably the greatest team of all time. People say dream team, but these gentlemen were amateurs. There's a difference in the way they dominated. My pleasure to have former NBA Rookie of the Year Terry Dischinger on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's been a wonderful weekend so far, and I think it only gets better from here.
Yes, indeed. And talk about those games in Roma, like 50 years ago to this day, actually. And
well, for me, I was 19 years old, and I was the youngest player to ever play in the Olympics, I think, and especially on that team. And we couldn't play as freshmen back in those days, so it's the first year of my playing college basketball, and I got selected to be on the greatest team ever up until then. And I think we've talked to the dream team and this, and we decided the two best teams ever. And so for me, it's still kind of surreal. I knew it happened. I was an important part of the team, contributed. But back then, we didn't even think we were going to lose because we were so good. I mean, we were a great basketball team because all the players on the team had great skills, basketball skills, dribbling, shooting, defense. We could play shutdown defense. We had the whole package. And here I am. I'm playing with my heroes that I saw growing up. I was watching them on TV, and now I'm their teammate. And, it's been so wonderful hearing the fact that a number of the people on our team have been inducted in the Hall of Fame, but they said there's nothing greater than being inducted as a team and representing the United States of America, and that's exactly how I feel.
That's exactly what Jerry West said actually earlier. Absolutely, and definitely there was a lot of course, at that time it was a very tumultuous time in America, racism, and of course the Europeans and the Soviets were trying to instigate that whole thing. How important was it to be unified as one to make sure that you had that common interest and that common goal, determination?
Really, for me, growing up, I didn't see race. And I'll tell you a little story. My dad was a football coach, and his first year of coaching in our hometown in Indiana, he had black players on his team, and he was told, if you keep the black players, you will be fired. And he wasn't fired because he kept the players. And so race was not an issue, but it was something worldwide, as you said. But who carried the flag at that Olympics? Victor Johnson, first Afro-American to carry the flag for the United States team. And it was a special time. You know, Muhammad Ali was on that team. Muhammad Ali came to my room because I was rooming with Oscar Robertson, and he says, "Where's the O?" I says, "He's not here." He says, "I want to get my picture taken with somebody that gets all that pub." And Muhammad Ali wore his gold medal every place in the Olympic Village. And so, yes, and, you know, they had ladies were competing, I think, in many of the events for the first time, and they had the Tiger Bells from Tennessee State, Wilma Rudolph, and that was very special too. So, and then all the Cold War stuff going on at the time, which I was not aware of till I read the book on the 1960 Olympics, the Pulitzer Prize. And it was funny, we're talking about that today. I asked all the guys on the team, have you read this book? And most of them hadn't. And I said, you need to read it. But it was, for us, you know, as a team and in sports, when you're competing, I don't think you really see that. I don't even think you recognize it. I didn't feel it. Oscar Robertson was my hero. He grew up in Indiana. He was 2 years older than I was. I saw him play in the state finals, the Indiana State Finals. He scores 42 points. Now I get to play on the team with him. I get to guard him each day. And he was my roommate. So it was such a unbelievable experience for me. And it's something that I dreamed of, but the reality of it, how's that happen? Well, I feel just blessed that I had a chance to be part of that.
How special is it? 4 Hall of Famers, 8 former NBA All-Stars, and of course 4 Rookies of the Year in a row from 61 to 64. I mean, what did Coach Newell, what were the things that he preached to you guys for you to develop as great basketball players?
Well, I think first of all we had great people on our team. I mean, you probably talked to most of them. They are great citizens, okay? So you start there. And then a coach that you respect, and Coach Newell was respected. He and Coach Wooden were probably looked at as the 2 greatest coaches of their time. Plus we had a bunch of players that knew how to play the game, and there were not any egos involved, and we wanted to win as a team representing the United States of America. And I had said for years, and it came out here, on that team, when I got open, I never got missed. I had said that for years, and that's the truth, because the ball was distributed so well. And we could play all phases of the game. You know, if we need to shut down the other team, we could play shutdown defense. We rebounded the ball really well, and we were quicker than any other team, so we could fast break. But we also had such great basketball skills that we could play slow down too. And so we had the whole package, and I'm just so thrilled that I got to be a part of it.
Honor to speak with you, sir. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here, and there's nothing like getting the gold medal. Star Spangled Banner played, and you have won this for the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. So thanks much.